sweet dear magical friends. Welcome, Wilkommen to your weekly horoscope and taroscope with me, Natalie, spelled N-A-T-A-L-E-E. This week ahead, we are still coming off of the full moon in Gemini, and then we'll be more consolidating and gearing up for the new moon in Capricorn at the end of next week. We do have the quarter moon at the end of this week, and then a big thing with the Sun square Neptune this week. So we are going to jump right on in. Let's start. That is not the day we're going to start with. That's Sunday, Monday. Let's start with Monday, the 12th of December. So like I said, you know, this is still playing out, this full moon in Gemini. How have you guys been feeling? What's come up with you guys? Let me know in the comments below. This was hitting me in my, I get the double whammy because I'm a Capricorn Cancer rising. So is my 12th and 6th house. Excuse me, it played out exactly as I expected, full of I just shut down. It's like when the computer's at 9% and you're still like working and getting things done, and then it just shuts off. I was waking up all over my apartment. I was waking up with my head on the dinner table. I was waking up at my desk. I was waking up on the couch. I was waking up on the floor, leaning against my couch. I mean, I just was having total energy issues. I also had to fire someone. I had to block a scammer on Patreon. I mean, but you know, the 6th house is petty conflict house. It's just, I'm like King Kong, and you know, the conflict is like these little itty bitty little planes flying all around me. I'm like, get out of here. Don't you, what are you doing? Move on with your life. Don't you have anything better to do? So yeah, we'll probably have to block them if they come up on the YouTube, but hopefully you guys had a much better Mars retrograde full moon in Gemini. But yeah, it could have brought, what I've actually noticed is that it's been bringing, and you might get this more this week, you guys, is that it's bringing up documents and details, screenshots, forms, paperwork. So for instance, you know, firing, I've never had to do that before. So I had to make the process for that. I had to create, I am very passionate about document control. So everything has to be very like official and officiated. So, you know, it was just like, I had to go back and do that. That was like something I had to do. So there could be more of that this week where, you know, and here's where I'm really giving you guys that heads up as you start Monday. You start Monday with the moon in Leo squaring over to Uranus and Taurus. Now the Sun trine Neptune, excuse me, Sun square Neptune, that's going to be this whole week. It's going to really punch it on a Wednesday, but you're going to get it on both sides. So I like the end of the week a lot better than the beginning of the week. So on Monday, I'm calling it start right. You have the moon in Leo squaring Uranus and Taurus. You have Mercury entering shadow. So you can still get your electronics for Christmas, but just maybe expect that it might have to be returned. It might have something wrong with it. It might not be exactly what you thought you ordered, you know, but you know, if you could have done it, you know, before Mercury starts their shenanigans, that'd be better. So I'm calling it start right. That moon square Uranus, expect to have to break or update or innovate your own rules. So it's kind of like, you know, the fixed energy, it's like having such strong rules with yourself that you follow them like subconscious grooves in the path. You know, where you get in the car and you just start going. You know, you take one of your common routes that you're always taking, and you're not paying conscious attention to it. So the moon is that subconscious, unconscious energy. So you may have to come up against something where it bothers you. It does not sit right with you. It's going against what your subconscious programming is. But it's an opportunity to elevate and update, like I said, those rules that you have with yourself or about your life, whatever it happens to be. Like I said, Mercury entering shadow is from now until the 29th of December. We're going to go back over this all over again. So that's going to be when things start up again, communications may be coming back up from before, or you may have to go over things that you go through or talk about from the 12th to the 29th. So, you know, CYA, truth, love, integrity, just be honest, be upfront, be mature and responsible. So that's always the case. That's always the case. And here's another thing. We're going to start to have this pile up of planets in Capricorn. The dispositor is Saturn. So then you look to see what Saturn's doing. Saturn is still in Aquarius, another Saturn ruled sign. So that is really the agenda. Saturn's also always going to be the agenda of what you need to be really towing the line to and showing up with the utmost integrity and maturity and, you know, taking adequate responsibility and stuff. So, all right, so that is Monday. Let's talk about Tuesday. So on Tuesday, I am calling this day Priorities Matter, because on Tuesday we have that Leo moon opposing Saturn, and then we have that Leo moon also trining the sun in Sagittarius, also squaring Neptune in Pisces. Okay, so with the opposition to Saturn, you really do want to check yourself first before blaming anything else or anyone else. You really do. That the Leo energy could just be maybe overconfident, maybe dually confident. You know, this might be you going up against something that you are very righteous about, that you are correct about, and it may be the other side that has to think twice and have a different perspective. But it's always best just to do that internal check first before proceeding, as opposed to being checked by the situation or the other person or, you know, higher up or whatever. So check yourself first. And, you know, no one likes Saturn. I get it. But here's the thing. I love to say yes just as much as I love to say no. If there's something that comes through, I'm telling you, I had to, fire is a big word. I fired. Like it was like no, you know, and you know, that's Capricorn energy that loves to have those boundaries, that loves to push it back and send it back when it's corrected and have it submitted by the deadline. But I love to spoil the people I love. I love to cherish. I love to, you know, buy gifts for them. I love to, you know, just make them smile and make them happy. And just, I love to say, good job. Like, you did it right. You worked really hard. You did the thing, you know, rah, rah, good job. Congratulations. Like, I love that. I love that. So it's not all just, you know, Mimi, boss, Natalie, you know, it's not even like I'm always that, you know, I've never been involved in like so many different groups of people with these eclipses going through my 11th and 5th houses. So, you know, in some groups, I'm the boss. Some groups, I'm this, you know, spiritual mentor person. And in some groups, I'm the grunt, and I am doing grunt work. And, you know, so this opposition to Saturn, like I said, you just want to make sure, you just want to show up correct and be responsible and be mature, because these are pretty powerful elements. You know, that Leo is the king. Leo is like the center of the universe, okay? And then you have the moon trining over to the sun. So that's really, really, really nice. And they're in fire signs. So sun is sextiling Saturn. So there really is some great opportunity to make a good impression, to make a strong impression, to make a mature, dependable, reliable impression, and not go too far with your own perspective that gets you that you're digging your own ditch. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so what else we got going on Tuesday? We also have the square to Neptune in Pisces. So keep an open schedule and undercommit. This was I totally burnt out on I knew I was going to. I knew that was gonna happen. Like, you know, looking at anyone's chart, you're like, oh my God, like full moon conjunct Mars retrograde in your 6th and 12th house is like, yeah, you're gonna get like attacked, but it's gonna be petty shit, trivial, trifling things that are like, I'm telling you, it's like, get out of my hair, you know, get out of my, like, go do your own thing. So that won't be much longer to deal with. Can't wait for this new moon in Capricorn. I'm just dealing with like the little busy work and all these little things that's got to be taken care of. So you be careful with that moon square to Neptune, because you could just all of a sudden the energy goes out, the air gets taken out, and like I'm telling you, like I would just wake up places, and I haven't been able to catch up on all the videos that I usually watch and all my favorite you know, content creators, because I can't hold that week. I just could not hold. I still can't. I just can't hold all that energy. It's like, it's just like the burn victim that's got no skin, you know, no protection. It's like I can't. It's just too especially when I'm being like, you know, all these other fires I'm putting out. It's just, you know, unless it's very rejuvenating, unless it's very encouraging, or it's very you know, safe and super, where I know what I'm going to get is going to be really, really nurturing and rejuvenating for me. I just couldn't, I don't even look, you know what I'm saying? So that square to Neptune, there could be like an energy drain, or there could just be like a little puncture. The air is taken out of something. So that's another reason, like, don't get too righteous with that Leo moon energy. It wants to express itself, wants to be creative. It's my vision. It's about, you know, fifth house, my vision, my creative vision, but it's opposing that Saturn in Aquarius. It's saying, like, is your creativity good for everyone? You know, is you expressing yourself bringing any value to the community? Or is this just your ego? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when you can find a way to make that good for everybody, or you're showing up very responsible and mature, then it's great. And you could be supported in sharing your vision or your creativity or your personality, your persona, with that trine over to the sun in Sagittarius. And it's like, okay, other people are benefiting from what you have to say, you know. But that square to Neptune, not everyone's going to get that kind of, you know, approval. So that's, what was that? That was Tuesday. Okay. Wednesday. And it's just so busy. God, and all this stuff that we have to, all these little Gemini, like all the little, it's really, you know, it was all about the big picture, the big broader vision with that Sagittarius emphasis. And then that full moon in Gemini just brought us back down to the details, the little nooks and crannies that we got to take care of. And that's like, that could be overwhelming. So, you know, just take really good care of yourself. Oh, that's funny. So Wednesday, I'm calling it take great care. The moon is now in Virgo and trining over to Venus and Mercury in Capricorn. This is really nice. But this is the day that the sun squares Neptune. So this entire week, you really want to hold off on any judgments that you're making. You really want to hold off on asserting your ego too strongly, or your point of view too strongly. Your energy levels could be affected. And, you know, this is like going balls to the walls, holding a position, maybe in an argument, maybe it's just in a discussion, or maybe it's just your view of a situation. But that sun square Neptune is going to take all the air out of what your perspective is, or your goal is, or what you want for yourself, or your identity. This is going to be an ego humbling. This is an ego death, where you've got to surrender, you've got to spiritualize, you have to let that happen. You have to let that process work on you. What was I talking to? It came up in someone's weekly last week, where I was explaining to someone that you do need to feel bad for a short period of time. Fear, shame, guilt, whatever. You have to feel bad to learn the lesson. But once you learn the lesson, you can let the whole thing go. So that's what it was. In someone's reading, it was someone in their week that just wasn't, they just don't want to feel the pain. They don't want to feel bad. They don't want to feel bad about themselves. They don't want to feel bad about what they did or didn't do or said or didn't say. So they're not getting the lesson. They're just totally trying to bypass over that and saying, like, oh, I shouldn't have to feel bad. I shouldn't have to feel bad about anything. No, we all need to feel bad to learn the lesson. That's how it works. That's how we learn the lesson. And that's the thing with Saturn this week, is like, and as we finish off 2022, everyone feels victimized by consequences until you get your shit together, until you learn your Saturn. Otherwise, everybody blames the Saturn. Everybody blames the boss. Everybody blames the authority. And I have authority issues, so I know about this. But when you own your own energy, you take responsibility and you conquer that, I'm telling you guys, the rewards, the Saturn rewards are the best. Okay, so take great care on Wednesday. The moon trining over to all this earthy energy. Circumstances are very supportive of your growth, of your development. Relationships are more solid and they're more firmed up. But with the sun squaring Neptune, the best case scenario is that it's softening enough where you can let something in, where you had a hard boundary that was maybe overgrown into a defense mechanism or a defense system. and you can let the lesson sink in, or you can let the wisdom sink in, or the inspiration or creativity sink in. On a worser case scenario, this is difficulty with delusion, mental illness, or just like not seeing things clearly. Like you read it and you don't read it. You read it and you don't absorb it. You read it and it doesn't permeate. You read it and you don't get it. And it could be very misleading direction-wise with your life. That's why I'm saying, like, be careful of, it's probably going to be good in the sense where we do need to change our lens that we're seeing a goal, and our perspective from which we take action on, and how we define goals. But you want it to elevate you up and to be more in tune with the real natural world. That's what I'm going to call it. So when you're astral traveling, when you see spirits, when you're super psychic, you're seeing and perceiving and living in the real natural world. You're getting 100% of it. You're getting all of the light spectrum. And when you're not developing your psychic ability, or when you're not meditating, or when you're not caring about any of that, you're only getting like a sliver of what reality is. And so your life experience is a little bit smaller because of that. So, the sun squaring, I'm a sun conjunct Neptune person, so that's a lot better than sun square Neptune or anything square Neptune. But, you might need to course correct because you are like a martyr, and you just like, your victim is your identity, and you're just always blaming something else. You're always blaming you, whatever, So, these transits come and they hurt, but if people just don't learn the lesson or don't take the lesson, they just keep the pain, or they keep the victim mentality, and then they just wait it out. They wait out the transit. They don't ever change. So I don't want that to be you. I don't want you to just try to talk yourself out of feeling bad because you don't want to feel bad. Or if you're dealing with someone like that, then they're delusional. Oh, I got these because my eyes have been really hurting staring at the screen. So I got these blue light glasses. I call them my Jeffrey Dahmer glasses. Actually, I shouldn't. I guess I shouldn't say that. They just block out the blue light. Let me show you. They just block out the blue. They're very Jeffrey Dahmer glasses. So anyway, back to the week. So that is Wednesday. Let's talk about Thursday the 15th. It only filters out like 30% of the harmful stuff. So that kind of sucks. Anyway, I have perfect vision. I actually have really excellent vision. So I do eye exercises since I was 8 or 9 years old, and I'm just really like super proactive about certain embodied abilities that I'm really happy to have. Okay. Where were we? Thursday, the 15th of December. I'm calling this day Know How to Level Up. And we have that beautiful Virgo moon trining over to Uranus and Taurus. And this is going to get very exciting with all the Earth trines. And if you have anything in, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, you could be getting like double, triple, quadruple, quintuple dips of goodness and benefits. More towards like the end of the month, but like totally worth it. To hold out and wait for. So know how to level up. The moon's trining over to Uranus and Taurus. So feelings and circumstances are very rhythmic with the future, with what you're growing into. So it's normal for it to feel unfamiliar unfamiliar. And you might feel more confident going into thoughts and feelings and circumstances that are unfamiliar because you have a little bit more confidence in your future, and you have a little bit more faith in yourself and who you are. And that could also be part of your week with sunshine. I keep saying that, with sun square Neptune, where something's not as bad as you thought it was. You believe in yourself more than you did before. So it could be that kind of a break in perspective, but it can also be, you think you have this big ego and this big position, and you are totally deflated by something. And hopefully people can take that and internalize the lesson so that they can let go of the bad feeling. Because once you get the lesson, you let it all go. What are we talking about? Is that still Thursday? Okay, so we also have this square to Mars retrograde in the sign of Gemini. All right, so when this happens, that, okay, whenever there's Sun, Mars, it's always like trigger to action. It's always that our subconscious is being triggered by something and we act on it. And it gets all of us every single time. That's why this is a really hot and heavy connection for synastry, because these people are triggering each other's subconscious, and the action is there to whatever you're doing, like if you're hugging or touching or having sex or roughhousing or play fighting, or but it's like you're being drawn to make that contact. Subconsciously, you're both really like triggering each other. Of course, it can also be violence. You're triggering each other's violent pasts or whatever happens to be. So of course it can go that way too. But back to this. We have this square aggravating these areas of life. There's also the quarter moon, which we're going to talk about for Friday. But for Thursday, it's squaring. But here's the thing. Intuitively, you will know what actions are not working for you, that you're outgrowing. Intuitively, you will know a motivation that you've outgrown or that you are outgrowing. You will know intuitively that you've got to change either that motivation or how you're acting in order to really get what you want. So that's why we're calling Thursday Know How to Level Up. Because like I said, these transits come and they go. I was depressed a lot growing up, but one of the things that depressed me when I was like 14 was realizing that people, just because they looked physically older, that they weren't mature. I didn't know that until I was 14 years old, and I had to deal with an older adult woman who was so immature and hurtful and painful and like tearing me down and targeting me and sabotaging me and ruining things for me, and like an adult woman, an adult abusing essentially a minor and attacking a minor because she had some kind of fucking issue. So, it's like, it's kind of freaky. It's like really, really weird. But anyway, let that be other people, and you just have boundaries with them. And when that happens to you, when someone, no matter who they are or what they come from, brings something to you that you need to learn in order to grow, don't just knock it and let this transit aggravate you and then pass, so that you focus on other things other than feeling bad that you need to feel in order to get the lesson, so that you can grow and let it all go. Because I can totally see people lashing out on this moon square Mars retrograde and their karma. That's another thing, you guys. Like this week, I've been seeing so much karma slap back in people's faces, like immediately. So don't say anything out of pocket, and be prepared to provide all of your supporting documentation that proves that you are in the correctness, that you are in the right. So save your documents, your screenshots, like I said, I'm really good about like document control. And so, luckily I keep excellent records, and luckily that's always there, like in my little, but it's just from being a writer, and like I just like having everything organized. So, be prepared to defend yourself with like supportive documentation, because people might just take it out on you. They might totally project onto you, and you may trigger something in their subconscious, and they try to punish you for that, and they try to lash out at you for that. So, but since they think of Donkey Kong, think of King Kong, at the top with like all the little fucking planes just like buzzing around. It's like, that's, leave me alone, let me climb this building. So, okay, where were we? Let's move on to Friday. So on Friday, the 16th of December, we do have, okay, I'm calling this day, believe it and accept it. This is when we have the quarter moon in Virgo, and we have the moon in Virgo opposing Neptune in Pisces. So, I am just, the Neptune stuff, it's just so clearly either, it's strongly in one of like the 4 categories, like delusional, like totally we can't even talk to you because you're just delusional. So, you're out. That's it. You're out. You're delusional. You're just out, out. or it's very spiritual, very, very connected to the full spectrum of reality, okay, full, complete life. Or it's very creative, where you are pulling so much inspiration. That's one of the things I'm most grateful for, is that I can be inspired and I am very creative. You know, like some people are so jaded that they don't ever get the authentic inspiration to create anything. They don't feel it. It doesn't happen. It doesn't come up organically and naturally. So that's to me, that's belief. Like I am Sun conjunct Neptune. I will always, and that's Capricorn. So thank God I can ground it down. Otherwise, a Sun conjunct Neptune could just be in the clouds all day, and they're so creative, you would never know, because they don't ever do anything. They don't physically do anything. So, you know, this moon opposing Neptune and Jupiter in Pisces, that could be super inspirational, or it could be draining, or it could be delusional. Some people it's drugs and alcohol abuse. Some people it's like mental illness, some kind of disorder, some kind of disability. And some people it's like it's not just like martyrdom. There's something else that I like to say when I talk about this. The messianic complex, where it's like it's not grandiose the way Sagittarius is grandiose, but it is out there in that kind of a way. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so hopefully the moon, with the moon opposition, hopefully it grounds some of that into something tangible and physical, and you can ground the inspiration or ground the spirituality, or, you know, you can have that balance. But it will show you what's been out of balance. Either you've been too up in the clouds and you need to take care of your bills, and you need to clean your room, and you need to do something Virgoan, or you've been way overstressed in the details, and you do need to meditate. You need to take a break. You need to color in your adult coloring book. You know, you need to do something like that. But you'll know and just make that adjustment. It is also the quarter moon in Virgo on Friday, so this could be one last adjustment that you need to make in your perspective, and this is where you've got to accept it. You want to believe it, and you want to accept it, and you want to reconcile where you need to balance it all, because it can all fit, it can all work. You may need to communicate or respond to something, or if you take some kind of action, it'll probably be more communicative, because this is a closing square from the moon to the sun, so it's wrapping something up, something you've already seen and built towards and learned about and all that jazz. So there's that. It's the acceptance quarter moon. On Saturn's day, the 17th, I'm calling it be corporate. Be corporate. Okay, so we have the moon in Libra squaring Venus in Capricorn and trining over to Mars retrograde in Gemini and squaring Mercury in Capricorn. And then we have that Mercury in Capricorn trining over to Uranus and Taurus. This is why the later half of the week is a lot better, because the first half of the week you're building towards a Sun square Neptune. The middle of the week it pops and someone gets humiliated. Some man or male figure is viewed as less than or not as great in some way, or you know, not just humiliated or humiliating, but they fail the image in some way, shape, or form. There's a disappointment with men or with our own goals, our own masculine energies. And so by the end of the week, it's gotten over the exactness. It's still waning, you know, but it's not nearly as intense as the beginning to the middle of the week. So I'm calling Saturday be corporate. So the moon in Libra squaring Venus. Let's go take it piece by piece. Squaring Venus. Discomfort is necessary. Okay, this is where you need to be corporate, because moon square Venus is like, it's so uncomfortable. You don't want to do it. It is out of your comfort zone. The circumstances are clashing with your relationships. The relationship dynamic is clashing with the situation at hand. And it's just, you don't feel like the time is right. You don't feel like it's an appropriate situation. You don't want to do it. You don't want to talk about it. But be corporate. That will save you. That will help you get through you know, whatever this is. And that'll help prepare you for all of the, oh my God, that's right. I forgot to tell you. I'll show you later. But that's going to help you. That's going to help you get through, you know, whatever this is. The trine to Mars retrograde says, you know, that's kind of like second chance energy. This whole Mars retrograde could be second chance energy if it's meant to happen or to be a thing. But remember, you don't want to take action on what you are revising until after January the 12th. So you're probably seeing what needs to be reworked, or you're seeing what needs to be retooled, or where your actions and motivations need to shift and change. But, you know, it's just, there's going to be more that you're learning up until the 12th. And I think I talked about all of the dates and all of the details in the November monthlies. So they're there. They're over on the page now for all 12 signs. And then the square to Mercury in Capricorn, it doesn't have to be an impasse. You know, this, I feel like all of the signs could lie for different reasons. And Libra is going to lie because they want to avoid talking about it. They want to avoid any kind of potentiality for conflict. But it's sort of like they're just hiding from themselves in a way that Gemini can kind of hide from themselves, where it's a little bit, it's you're not actually fixing it. You're just procrastinating and maybe making it work. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the square to Mercury in Capricorn. Mercury in Capricorn is going to be like, do you have your papers? You know, it's like, I'm telling you, Capricorn energy does love to say no. We love to kick it back and come back correct. Come back when you're ready to be mature. Come back when you can handle this. But I promise you, if you know a Capricorn Sun, Moon, Rising in your life, you probably have a love-hate relationship with them because of this. You've probably seen our bad side. You've probably seen all kinds of crazy shit. But you should know that we do love to say yes. We love that moment when you come correct. All the paperwork's in order. All the forms have been filled out. All of the things. You've checked all of the things and you're ready. It's showing us you're ready. You're ready. You're ready. So it doesn't have to be an impasse. It doesn't have to be avoidance. It doesn't have to be even painful. You know, be clear, be confident. Be clear and be confident, because for all of the times you want to run away, a couple of those times it'll be so worth it for the rest of your life to stay and figure it out. And you will never know which times those were, because you always ran away, or you always swept it under the rug, or you never dealt with it, or you never confronted her, you never, you know. So you know what I'm saying? And like I said, you know, the end of the, you have, look at, you have Mercury trining over to Uranus and Taurus. So that little moon in Libra, it's just like, don't let that psych you out, because you don't want that to be the wrench or the pebble in your shoe that screws up this beautiful Mercury Uranus trine. Okay, take the opportunity, is what it's saying, to level up the discussion. That Mercury trine Uranus, you don't know how that's going to go. No one does. Uranus is the only thing that no one can expect, that no one can predict. So you don't think like, you know, if you have like that kind of energy, if you have strong Libra in your chart, or strong Gemini or Pisces, any of the more like evasive, or even like Cancer wants to go to the side, going to shuffling to the side and getting it's not straight, it's like to the side, you know, anything like that. You don't know. Whatever you're stressing about, whatever you think it's gonna, you don't know. You just don't. So give yourself a chance, you know, take the opportunity to level up the discussion, and you don't know where it's gonna go. You know, it could go somewhere nice. Sunday the 18th, I'm calling it's coming together. That moon in Libra that could have been tweaking out, is now trining over to Saturn in Aquarius. So relationships thrive, building trust and keeping promises. Saturn stuff. All right. You know, we have a couple more It's lovely Saturday the parties, and then we're out of it. We're out of it. But we still got to toe the line. Okay. So just think about it. Really think about it. Think about your maturity, everyone's maturity. Think about the right thing to do. Think about maybe, you know, did you miss something? Did you overlook something? Did you over promise that we would keep your promises, keep your word, and make the right, it's so easy to say make the right choices, but you know, we never know when we're wrong. You know, it's kind of, it's the thing about being wrong, is you never know when you're wrong So you don't know. You don't know. What else? Venus and Capricorn. Are we on Sunday? Is that Saturday? No, that's still Saturday. Oh, I didn't change it. That's what it is. No. Okay. So what did I think okay. So Sunday, I'm calling it coming together. It's coming together. Moon trine Saturn, relationships thrive, building trust and keeping promises. Come correct. That's the simplest TLDR. Just come correct. And don't put up with anyone that's not coming correct to you. You know, it's you want someone that respects your time boundary and they're going to show up on time and not waste your time. Don't you feel like you deserve someone that respects your financial boundary and have good discussions and to be really, don't you feel like you deserve someone that, you know, all of that is love, all of that is meaningful, all of that contributes to building trust, and all of that contributes to really good relationships. Okay, Saturn in synastry is what shows you the glue, and it shows you the obstacles to overcome in order to keep the glue, or to make the glue, or sometimes there is no glue, whatever. So, you know, it's really nice on Sunday. Also, Venus in Capricorn trines the North Node in Taurus. We are all going to be in love with progress, okay? Moving things forward, having some kind of, you know, that Venus in Capricorn, like I said, it really does want serious, stable, secure, reliable. So we're going to appreciate those qualities because the middle of July, the late July, early August, that super conjunction of Mars and North Node and Uranus and Taurus could have freaked some people out. It could have been too much, too fast, too soon, too different, too wild, too out there, unfamiliar, too unfamiliar. And, you know, maybe people needed this entire year to really start to get used to it. So, you know, as we're ending this month, we're really going to appreciate the trines that all these Capricorn energies are making to the North Node and Uranus and Taurus, because it's going to help us feel more stable and secure with this new that's being built in our lives. And we're not going to feel so, you know, suspicious or afraid or, you know, reticent or anything. Is that the one that I do? I guess so. Let's go ahead and get started. It's funny. Okay, what do we need to tell you about your week ahead, please? All the suns. Oh, okay. So we've got a couple. We have the Magician. We have the Magician, and we have the Tower. I just got my hair done, and so of course my nails are usually blue. Blue is such a psychic color. Like I don't know, but why I got the channeling of blue, but like it's a very like astral, emotional color. Like you want to physically wear blue when you want someone to be emotionally receptive to you, when you want them to really feel the trust that you're trying to build with them. So I don't know, I guess someone needed to hear that. So the Magician and the Tower. But if you wear too much blue, then you get lost in the sauce and it's like too emotionally like messy and stuff. So, but the download I got wasn't anything about that when I was knowing that I was going to do blue. It was Joan of Arc. So, oh, I can show you now. So another sad thing about my full moon in Gemini is my Cricut died. Sorry, this is not about me, it's about you. All right, so the Magician and the Tower, these are very exciting cards. You could demolish something in your life on purpose because you have something greater in mind for yourself, where you're like, I'm going to be the one. You're the wrecking ball, you know, you're the wrecking ball to something that you're putting into this, and you're in full control and you're confident and you know that you're making some big tower moment and you're like sailing through. This is like someone that kind of is comfortable with the chaos, you know, kind of comfortable with things being very up in the air. This is someone very comfortable not knowing outcomes. This is someone comfortable and almost getting kind of excited. Of things being up in the air, excited that they don't know what's going to happen, and just going on their creative will or their willpower, or, you know, they're being driven to channel and manifest and do. And, you know, they're okay with, here's the thing, most of us, like I said, feel victimized by consequences. This person is not that person. This person is a rarity, an exception, where they fully are open to whatever consequences may come because they are honoring their own, I would say, their own code with themselves. And if there is a tower moment that's happening in this person's life, they're capitalizing on the opportunities that are opening up because of these structures breaking apart. They're not focusing on what they're losing or what's changing. They're focusing, this is someone that sees opportunity. So when something is like erupting, they're seeing the opportunity in it like immediately. Okay, Black Friday for investors. How many people got so wealthy in 2020? And okay, I'm not gonna digress. We had a great, it's great. Okay, let's keep going. Didn't want to come out. Oh, it's the Queen of Pentacles. Wow, that's really stable. That's really stable and secure. So there's no, we'll open up the Tower, but oh my God, you have the Fool, the Six of Cups, the Ten of Wands. We did the Ten of Wands in Tarot Talk today. This is Sunday, I'm recording this. Bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Pentacles, we have the Ace of Wands, when we have the Hierophant. So this overall is telling me that, you know, it's like you have your morals and your ethics and your belief systems first and foremost. And what you start has to pass that approval first. There might even be some kind of approval from an institution or an authority because of a shared belief system, you know, a shared ethical code, so to speak. This can also be a great time to like innovate or to creatively get your ideas. Tell me about the Tower and the Magician. The Hanged Man, the Five of Pentacles, and the Two of Pentacles. Oh yeah, this is something blowing up that you are not getting anything out of, and it looks like a mentality. So it's probably, I mean, maybe for some it's like, you know, financial things, but even if that's the case, like someone here is seeing the opportunity and not seeing any loss. But this is more of a mentality. This is a little bit insecure. There's something like maybe you're overcoming insecurity. You're overcoming feeling left out or abandoned or something like that. Maybe you're looking at something differently, where you were feeling very left out in the cold and now you're seeing the opportunity inside of it, or you're seeing like the positive of it. Play the long game. Play the long game. What's this Queen of Pentacles? Queen of Pentacles plays a long game. Yeah. Seven of Pentacles. Someone here, you or someone else, playing the long game, making an investment for the long term, and keep in there. But they're tending to this. So I would say this is someone that's going to keep on investing in what they've been investing in. And they're going to make it successful. Like that Queen of Pentacles is like, they turn everything into success because they just do. So they're going to keep building into that. They're going to keep investing into it. Okay, 10 of Wands, 6 of Cups, and the Fool. You know, something from the past that you've been carrying, it's been really stressful, it's been like taking so much out of you, has been sort of foolish. I'm sorry. It's been like chasing rainbows, you know, and just it could have been like nostalgic. It could have been someone you used to know. It could have been a family member. It could have been, I don't know, anything. But it's pulled on your like nostalgia heartstrings, and you just took on so much because of that, because of the nostalgia, or because of maybe it's just you've always, because you've always done it, or you always did it, or you always went this way, you always, and it was just you loved it before, so you kept it, but it's turning out to be sort of foolish for you, and you might totally drop it to do something totally different, go in a totally different direction. She's, look at her hair, it's blue. She has blue hair. Let's see. Tell me about the Fool, this 10 of Wands, and the 6 of Cups, please. I'm impatient. 10 of Pentacles. Okay. 10 of Pentacles, to clarify. Wow. When you are like, you're dropping it like a hot potato. You're dropping something that's just a little bit too, it's too much work. It shouldn't be that, you know, you're looking for some kind of, or not you're looking, but if it's not that reciprocal, even give and take emotionally, you're focusing on putting your passion, or, you know, your creative passion. So this is almost like dropping something like let's say you love dog walking, and you did it since high school. You just love animals, you love dogs. And then you start going to school to do marine biology. And you're like, oh my God, I love them both. I love marine biology, I love walking dogs. But then maybe your old clients move on to, like, they leave and they're gone, and you have new clients, and it's just not the same. But you love dogs, and you're trying to hold on to this little thing that you're doing, but you're also trying to study, and you're also trying to do all this other stuff. This would be like, you can let it go. you can not, you know, walk the dogs, and you can start a whole new, maybe you want to start, I don't know, start doing something else, and going where that is taking you will lead you to some kind of long-term success. So don't be afraid to drop tasks, or, you know, that kind of thing, okay? Because you are starting something new that's going to be very, very good for you long term, and you want to build that up, and you need your resources. The only way you can keep this is if you get reinforcements, if you get help. So if you cannot outsource it or delegate, then you gotta, oh, it's time to take action is your Moonology card. It is time to take action. And what do you need to release, just as we're talking about that? So confirmations all over the place. All over the place. All right, my loves. Many, many, until next time, beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings.